Coming up on the Raiders Report, we're going to be looking at the Raiders' top safety target, still available on the free agency wire. Jalen Richard, are the Raiders going to keep him? Are they going to cut him? Could they even trade the third-string running back? And at the very end of today's episode, I'm going to tell you how likely it is that the Las Vegas Raiders end up trading back in the 2021 NFL Draft. No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, ready to break some stuff down here. The first story that we're going to get into here is around Malik Hooker, and realistically, is this going to be the top target for the Raiders left? I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. He is listed, according to Bleacher Report, as the top safety left, and this has been somebody that I have mentioned multiple times on the episode. So you can't deny the elite talent, but he has missed 28 games in 4 seasons. There's no doubt that when this guy's out on the football field, he's a game changer. And if he could be that back safety, the free safety that this Raiders team's looking for, a true center fielder, there's no doubt it's a great fit. But I can't sit here honestly and tell you that I'm fully confident in him playing more than 12 games because, well, let's face it, he's only done it twice in his entire season. Plus, he is coming off a torn Achilles that forced him to miss 14 games last year. But this is what I want you guys to do. If you want the Raiders to go out and get some Malik Hooker, I want you to like this video. I'm telling you right now, he would be a great fit in the Gus Bradley system. And just because you go out and sign Hooker, that does not mean that you're not also going to go out and get another top safety in the draft. Obviously, I like Merrick a lot at pick 17, but you know what? If you're talking about getting Malik Hooker and then Richie Grant in the second round, I'm on board for that. But if you want the Raiders to go out and get Malik Hooker, I want you to like this video. So now let's walk through all the games that this dude has missed. His rookie season in 2017, played in only 7 games, started in 6 of them, but he missed 9. 2018, 2019, we're like, okay, he only missed a few games there, but then 2020 happened. 14 games missed. Obviously, this is a guy who does have the talent, and for this Raiders team, we're always trying to find somebody, okay, availability. That's really important. Like, that's what this defense needs. Sure, it scares me, but we are in Vegas, so let's roll the dice here a little bit. Let's look at his numbers, though, in 2019. This is in 13 games. 51 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 3 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. Back in 2018, I actually think this is probably his best year. 44 tackles, 4 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. And then his rookie season, he was going on to have a just phenomenal year and then suffered an injury. 22 tackles, the 4 pass breakups, 3 interceptions. I think one of the biggest reasons why Malik Hooker is such an interesting prospect is because, all right, you're like, okay, through 4 years, only 36 games, but when the sample size has been there, when he's been a dude out there on that football field, you're like, wow, he's one of the best defenders, especially at the safety position. He's still very young, only 25 years old. It is why he is my number 1 safety that the Raiders need to go out and sign right now. But let's just say that they can't get Malik. Trey Boston, another veteran that I know knows the Gus Bradley system well. 2020 wasn't that great year of a year for him. 2019, though, he's one of the best coverage safeties in the league. Earl Thomas scares me a little bit, but again, he knows the system. And then the last 2 guys, it's not really names that I want, but they're veterans, and I know Gruden loves them some veterans. So let's just say the Raiders, they go out, man. They get Malik Hooker. They make the deal happen. I'm hoping it's for like 1 year, maybe like $2 million, $3 million. This is what your defense would look like, at least in the terms of starting DBs. You still have Damon Arnett. You have Trayvon Mullen. You're going to allow Arnett and Isaiah Johnson really to be able to battle a few things out. But what does it also give you? It gives you more flexibility with Hooker and then Jeff Heath. I like Jeff Heath a lot. Led the team in interceptions last year. But Jeff Heath is realistically built to be a little bit more of, well, let's be honest, a special teamer and really only come in here and there. The reason why I like Malik Hooker, it also gives the Raiders a lot more flexibility in the draft. I want a safety. I don't really know if I want a safety at pick number 17 overall. So let me know down in the comments section, what do you guys think here? Which free agent safety should the Raiders go out and sign right now? Obviously, there's some other names out there to monitor. I mentioned a few of them earlier, like Kenny Vaccaro's out there. I know Gibson's out there, Trey Boston, Earl Thomas. But Malik Hooker is the name that I really want. And if you agree with me, you can also comment his name below. Raider Nation, if you're looking for free videos literally every single day around the silver and black around Raider Nation, look no further than the Las Vegas Raiders Report. We are the #1 most watched Raiders channel on YouTube. I might even say on Facebook as well. But bottom line is this. We're trying to keep you guys updated. The offseason's going to get crazy. The NFL draft's in 30 days. We're going to be making more and more draft videos. So free agency, draft, we got it all covered. Hit that big red button that says subscribe. Raiders news and rumors coming at you here. The Raiders Report. Jalen Richard. Are the Raiders going to be moving on from him? I'm going to give this one 2 chalky heads, and people are talking. There's been some talks that the Raiders could obviously move on from Richard and cut him to save $3.5 million. I'm also saying this. Anytime that you've seen the Raiders have potentially either a report about them moving on from a guy, they've done a very good job figuring out a way to ultimately trade that player. They did it with Rodney Hudson. They did it with Gabe Jackson. They did it with Trent Brown. Sure that there was talent there, but those 3 guys either wanted out or the contract didn't make sense for the Raiders. All I'm saying is this. If the contract doesn't make sense with Jalen Richard, look for the Raiders if they can't trade him to ultimately cut him. And as soon as the move happened with Kenyan Drake, I was like, okay, now this is something that people really need to start taking a little bit more seriously. Because you have Josh Jacobs. He's your RB1, no doubt about that. You went out, you got Kenyan Drake to be your RB2. Alec Ingold, one of the best fullbacks in the game. Devontae Booker, he decided to sign somewhere else. Theo Riddick, they didn't end up bringing him back. So realistically, you got Jacobs, you got Drake, you got Jalen Richard. But if you're going to give a running back 2 years, $14.5 million like they did in Drake, no disrespect to Richard, it does not really make a lot of sense to go out and pay Jacobs, Drake, and Jalen Richard. It just doesn't make sense to me. Sure, Jacobs is on a cheaper contract. Sure, Drake's only going to be making $3 million this year. But when I see the Raiders and how they're going to use Drake, they're going to use him a lot more than what they're going to use Richard. And I understand Richard has some value in special teams, but you're not going to pay somebody $3.5 million just for special teams, right? Right? So be honest with me here. I know Richard is a big fan favorite. I know he's done a lot of great things with this team. And realistically, since I've been covering the Raiders here at Chat Sports, he's been one of the more fun players to really cover, especially back in 2018 where he had 68 catches for a running back. But let me know. Be honest. Should the Raiders keep Jalen Richard? I want you to type K for keep, or I want you to go down in the comments and type C for cut. I'm going to ultimately cut Jalen Richard for the simple fact of if I can save $3.5 million, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to invest that money into the defense. Plus, read the tea leaves, y'all. This is his numbers in his entire career. 2016, he had 83 carries, 491 yards. That has literally gone down every single season. And then in 2020, 22 carries, 123. But if you're a real Raider fan, you're like, Mitch, Jalen Richard isn't on this football team to run between the tackles. He's on this team to be a good pass-catching running back. And I'm going to say this. You are 100% right. And in 2018, he had a great year. 68 catches, 607 yards. The other reason he had such a good year, the Raiders didn't have a lot of playmakers. 2019, the numbers go down. 2020, it's a career low. Josh Jacobs had more production. So when I really look at this Raiders roster, I'm thinking Jacobs, going to have more work. Kenyan Drake, going to get more work. Alec Ingold, he's also going to get his share as well. So realistically, I am not going to pay the 3rd running back on this team $3.5 million when the defense still has tons, and I mean tons of holes. So let's just say the Raiders do move on from Richard. One player that I want you all to keep in mind in terms of maybe being the most likely prospect that the Raiders go out and draft, it's Javian Hawkins, running back from Louisville. So far, out of all the virtual meetings that the Raiders have done, they've only done with one running back, and that is Hawkins. Now, he's not going to be your, bell cow running back. No, absolutely not. But this could be a sneaky option that the Raiders could be looking at on day 3. Not somebody that I would really draft, obviously, maybe in the 5th round, but that 6th round, pick number 200, okay, I'm listening. 5'9", 196 pounds, 133 carries, 822 yards, 7 touchdowns. Could he be a Jalen Richard replacement? Yes, he absolutely could. He could also be thrown out there on the football field for jet sweeps. That seems to be something that the Raiders are very, very interested in. So ultimately, I'm going to say this. I think the Raiders either cut or trade Jalen Richard, and if they do that, watch out for a name like Javian Hawkins. If they don't move on from Richard, I don't see why the Raiders would go out and draft a running back. Now, today's show is presented by Panda Supps. Shout out to these guys for awesome, awesome protein. The best tasting protein, I'm telling you right now, you'll ever have. Go to pandasupps.com and use code RaiderNation. Hopefully, I don't got to spell that one out for you. No spaces, pandasupps.com for 40% off. If you like chocolate ice cream, phenomenal. Vanilla ice cream, the best. The fruity cereal protein, if you haven't tried this yet, it's going to change your life. It's going to curb your appetite. You're going to get into better shape. And 140 calories, 1 gram of sugar, and 30 grams of protein per scoop. Like, that's just wildly amazing. Plus, with our deal, originally, you're looking at $50. It's $29.99. Again, I'm going to put this link in the comments and in the description. It's pandasupps.com, code RaiderNation. And if for those of you out there are like, you know what, man, I don't really need to get in good shape, I'm going to respectfully disagree. And all I'm going to say is if you got a sweet tooth like me, if you drink some of this, it's going to curve that sweet tooth. I absolutely promise you that. 40% off, pandasupps.com, code RaiderNation. So now we're going to be getting into a little mock draft action, and I recently just released my mock. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. It's on the channel. Give me your grades. But there's one dude that I do respect, especially in the whole Raiders media outlet. It is Vic Tafur. He does a very good job, but I wanted to be able to break down his mock because I saw it, and I really wasn't all that crazy about it. Like, I saw that there was a trade. I wanted to be able to talk about the trade. But first, let's look at Tafur's mock draft. He had the Raiders trading pick number 17 with the New Orleans Saints, and he goes down and gets Merrick, safety from TCU, gets a nice right tackle in Alex Leatherwood. And as you see, like, Tommy, he's okay defensive tackle. Probably would have been my pick. I'd personally rather have Tyler Shelvin over him at number 60. But Trill Williams, Deo, sorry, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce his last name, but also Tommy and Merrick, that was a part of the trade. It's still not the greatest value that I was hoping for. But in the 4th round, at 121, Andre Cisco, he's a player that I had in my mock draft. Running back Chuba Hubbard, who definitely kicking himself in the butt for going back to college one extra year. Chauncey Golston, and then Justin Hilliard. I'm not going to rip on pick 167 or 200, and realistically 162 because it's so far later on. But what I really wanted to be able to talk about is I've been sitting here for months, and I mean months, saying the Raiders need to trade back. And realistically, Tafur's first mock draft that he puts out, he has the Raiders trading back with the New Orleans Saints. So this is what the deal was, and I'm curious what you guys have to say about it. The Raiders received pick 28, the Saints' 2nd round pick, which is pick 60, and a 6th round pick in 2022. The Saints get 17. When I first saw it, I was like, man, I don't know if that's enough picks for them to go all the way up to 11. But I checked out the trade value chart. It does make some sense. But if I'm the Raiders, I am still going to try to ask for just a little bit more. But what you guys think here? Should the Raiders trade back? Y for yes or type N for no? I'm always amazed on how split this question is, especially amongst Raider Nation, because I know a lot of people are like, Mitch, no, you're always going to trade up. You got to get the better players. All I'm saying is this. Should the Raiders trade back? I'm going to type my Y for yes, because realistically, when I look at the talent pool from like pick 17 to pick like 40, man, if I get 2 players from 28 to 40 or 20 to like 45, I'd much rather that than just one guy at 17. So I'm going to type my Y for yes. So now, how likely is it that the Raiders end up trading back? I am going to give it 2 Chucky heads, and people are talking. Maybe I should have given it 1, but I'm going to say this. If the Raiders are presented with a trade and they have the ability to trade back, they are 100% going to do it. For the simple fact of what I just mentioned, there's a lot of other good players a little bit later on, and the Raiders still have a lot of needs. They have needs, obviously, on the offensive line, right tackle, and still a lot of needs, especially at safety. Maybe if they don't go out and get a top cornerback. I mean, lots and lots of needs here. So who are some potential teams that I think could trade up to get there? I think the Tennessee Titans at pick 22 is a sneaky, sneaky team because the Indianapolis Colts, they're right above them at 21. And if the Titans want a premier edge rusher, I think they could jump up at pick 17 over the Raiders. The New York Jets, that's their 2nd pick in the 1st round. The Jags, that's their 2nd pick in the 1st round. The Baltimore Ravens and New Orleans Saints. Watch out for the Ravens to really take a leap up there because they're still trying to win football games and they're still in that win-now window. For the Saints, since they couldn't really spend a lot of money in free agency, if there's one dude that they have their eye on, they've also shown in the past that they're not afraid to jump up and go and get someone. So, again, this is going to be the end of the video here, y'all. I appreciate everyone that's made it this far. If you disagree with anything that I said today, hit me up on IG. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. If you have any other questions about anything going on with the Raiders, slide into my DMs. They're open for a reason.